All right, guys, here we are. This is the final push. We've got to get this car done this weekend so I can make it ice cream cruise next weekend. Now, I do have next Friday off, so I may be able to do a few minor things in the morning, but for the most part, it pretty much has to be running and driving this weekend and, like, good to go. So we're just going to smash through this. I might miss some things, but I'm going to try to get you as much as I can, and let's get to it. All right, so off camera, I did fill this thing with coolant, and I got the fan just kind of on there. I still need to wire it up, but I pressure checked it, or vacuum checked it, everything's good. And yeah, it's holding coolant. It took quite a bit too, so I think we might be good. Obviously, we're still gonna have to purge it when I'm done, but yeah. So I started working on the exhaust, welding this stuff up, and I finally got a back purge set up. Which you can look this kind of stuff up online if you really care, but basically it adds gas to the inside so it doesn't, have really shitty welds on the inside, basically, and rust out, essentially, because it's got to get rid of all the contaminants. But it's really, I changed a few, not only back purging, I changed a few other things. My welds are getting a hell of a lot better. My consistency isn't perfect, and I still need to work on getting that, but, I mean, other than that, it's really shaping up. I'm getting better, guys. Welding's all done as far as the exhaust is concerned. Yeah, it's getting better. Like I said, I'm getting a lot better with this after messing with the settings. Obviously, we're getting all the pretty colors now, and that's what we like to see. Like to see all those purples and blues and all that stuff. Hell yeah. So moving on, while that's cooling off, I took the rear quarter windows out, both the glass, because obviously we need to make this, put that rear tube in. I figured it'd be a hell of a lot easier to weld with these windows out. Not to mention, we have some Lexan that's going to go into those. Whether that's today or tomorrow, I don't know. But first things first, we need to weld this in. So I need to get a measurement from there to there, cut it off, and then we need to notch it, and then we can, clean this up so we can weld it on. All right, got it cut down, got it notched, fits pretty good. So I got it squared up. I need to buy another one of these because these things are so fucking handy, and I only have one. Got them from like Centurial. You can like set them any angle you want, and they have like different sizes. I'm not sponsored by them, but they're fucking nice. I really like these damn things. Obviously, I just had to use whatever clamp over there. And the problem is that normal magnet deal from Harbor Freight didn't work because it's not a perfect 90. So, oh well. All right, time to tack this in so then I can pull these clamps off, and then we can just do a full weld. All right, the exhaust is all bolted up, so let's hear what it sounds like. Okay, now that I got that figured out, I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this vent, because even though this would work, I am a little bit concerned, like if I'm doing like some skids, doing a hard corner, something like that, the fuel can come out of here. So I want to bring this up higher. The only problem is it's almost to the top of where the hood is. So I can't do too much, but what I can do is at least lengthen it so it gives it like a harder time of like coming out. So what I think I might do is I might run it, you know, up around it here and then over to there. That way, you know, if you're skidding this way or whatever, it'll come to this side, but it may not go all the way over. I don't know. That's the hope anyway. I'm just going to do it, whether it needs it or it's going to work. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, the vent is all sorted out. So obviously I got it up pretty high, about as high as it'll go, and then kind of gave it a loop-de-loop and then came back up again. So hopefully we can keep fuel from actually coming out and we can just get vapor. But yeah, I tucked this thing up in there as best as I could so it's out of the way, the hood hinge and all that stuff, and it's out of the way and it's as high as it possibly can be. So I think that's probably the best scenario that I could have ended up with. And I also got this all painted up. It's all ready to go. Turned out exactly the way I needed it to. And obviously, like, it looks silly right now because there's 2 bars, but this is all gonna be covered up because like I said, that was the whole reason, because the firewall goes right there. So once the firewall's in there, you'll never even know that was there. You know, it'll look like it was meant to be like that. So yeah, what do we tackle next? Moving right along, I did get the fan wired. You kind of see it down there. I added a Deutsch connector. I tested it, everything works, and then zip tied everything up, put the front end down because we're finally at that point where I don't really need the whole front end up anymore. So that's a big step in the right direction. I did notice this is touching a little bit right here, so I might have to run a 90-degree fitting at some point, but for today it'll work. It's just like barely, like it's pushing on it, but it's not really gonna hurt anything, so I'm not worried about it right now. Yeah, just moving along. All right, skipping ahead again, I did start working on the firewall. I drilled out all these holes. You can see there's like, might be hard to see, but there's nut certs all over the place. I also put this foam all the way around the edge so that when the firewall goes up against there, yeah, it won't rattle and it'll seal it up. I also cut the firewall and drilled all the holes, did all the stuff that I needed to do, and threw some paint on it. Obviously it's not perfect, but it doesn't really need to be because at some point we'll have something over this. But yeah, I had to put some holes here for the shift cables. Had to notch some things out like e-brake, and then that was like, I think that was the clutch line. Yeah, I just need to wait for this to dry and then I can put this in and maybe get close to being on a test drive. I still need to set suspension, all that stuff, but yeah, we're getting there. So, driver's seat is bolted in, passenger side is just kind of chilling. And we've got the scales out, so take your guesses. What is it gonna weigh? It's gonna be pretty close to final weight. Obviously, we're missing quarter windows, but they're gonna be Lexan. I mean, we're talking like a couple pounds. The firewall, I mean, 10, 20 pounds maybe. And some seat belts, steering wheel. I mean, like the hood. I guess I could throw the hood on just because. Yeah, take your guesses. Well, guys, what did you think? I gotta tell you, this is way heavier than I expected it to be. That's for damn sure. I thought it was gonna be like 1,500 pounds because when you look at the curb weight for these, it says like stock, they're like 1,300 pounds or 1,350 or something like that. I was like, no way. It's much more heavier than, yeah, like 1,500 pounds. I don't know. I mean, that subframe, I will say that subframe was extremely heavy. I mean, obviously there's a roll cage. I don't know. I mean, I guess it is what it is. I did set the steering wheel on there. The hood just kind of chilling just for extra weight. So, I mean, it's a pretty close representation. I mean, it's going to be just a skosh over 1,700 pounds, probably like 1,725-ish. Maybe, yeah, somewhere in there. I mean, it's, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Well, I did a little bit of adjustments to the suspension to get it a little bit closer to 50%, 50-50. With me in it, it's like 50.3, which with the ride height, the way it is, it's kind of wonky. And it's a little bit off with ride height, and I think if I go any further, it's gonna make it worse. So it's just like, it's a little bit tighter on the left side than it is on the right side, but it's hard to say because obviously these fender flares aren't, you know, they're some aftermarket ones. I mean, they're meant for a Mini, but they're aftermarket, and it's hard to say. I'd probably have to go off the actual like chassis, but the chassis is also, who knows. So I think we're pretty close to where I need it to be. So we're gonna get the scales out of here. We're gonna put it on the ground. Then I need to check the toe. We're not gonna do a full alignment right now because I literally just need to test drive this thing and come back in here. Hopefully I have enough time to do a full alignment, but we'll see. All right guys, well I moved it. It did drive from here and I turned it around and got it up into here. I'm trying to bleed the cooling system right now. I've had some pretty big air pockets. It seems like the thermostat's trying to open, but there was just a hell of a lot of air in there. It seems it's trying to regulate pressure better now, where temperature, it's at like 188. It was trying to go up to like, I had it like 208 and it kept trying to spike. So I had to keep shutting it off, but I think we're on the right path now. So the other thing I did have to do to get it out here, I ended up having to modify the throttle, or not the throttle, the clutch, because this linkage, it wouldn't actually let the clutch engage or disengage. So I ended up welding a nut onto here so I could have the rod to be longer, so to actually push it far enough. Because it was actually super loose. Like, it's obviously there's a whole bunch of, you know, random fabrication. I didn't do that pedal, somebody else did that, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. The biggest problem I'm having right now is still the throttle cable. Like, yes, it works, but it's so stiff. It's like, honestly, as hard to push the throttle as it is to press the clutch, or damn near. And it's really, it really comes down to, I think it's just this angle right here. I don't know what else I can do. I suppose I could try and washer up the tank to move it forward a little bit. I don't know. It just sucks because I can't really get it a better angle on it. Yeah, I've still been fighting the cooling system. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I have an air pocket, if the fan is just not good enough, if I have insufficient flow. I'm not really sure. But I did make an improvement to the throttle cable. So I ended up taking this pedal out. I bent that top piece over so that it lined up a little bit better, and then I actually cut the pedal in half and welded it longer. So you can see it's slightly longer than the other ones, but it actually helped. It gave it more leverage. I also bent the little thing that goes in there a little bit more so I have less angle going into there. Overall, the throttle feels a lot better. I also can finally hit full throttle. Before I could only hit like 90%. So now that I've done a bunch of bends and stuff, it actually works pretty good. Now if I can just figure out what's going on with the cooling system, yeah. All right guys, I'm messing with it a little bunch. I think we're about to try and drive it. I did get the Haltech screen in there. I set the toe in the front, checked the toe in the rear. We're all pretty good. The only thing I'm concerned about is overheating. That's the biggest thing. So I just need to drive around for just a very short amount of time. I'm leaving a bunch of shit off of here because I need to find out. And yeah, if I need to add a fan or I need to put a thermostat in it, I don't know. Obviously I don't want to go too far because I don't have a firewall and it's going to get really hot in here and a lot of fumes. But yeah, we're just going to go see how it goes. Well, now I have a new issue. As you can see, it's running down as we speak. This fucking axle shaft seal is clearly leaking. I noticed there was a puddle on the ground. I was like, what the fuck is from that? Where'd that come from? Well, obviously, we need to get an output shaft seal. Shit. That's a huge pain in the ass because I had to take the whole fucking intermediate shaft off, which means I gotta pull the exhaust off and fucking disconnect all of this. Oh my God. Fuck me. I'm still gonna drive this thing, even with it leaking, because we need to find out how it drives. So I was gonna show you guys the drive, but I didn't make it very far and it started making a god-awful noise. And it appears the tire was rubbing on this a lot. So yeah, I think I need to, well, obviously I need some stiffer springs in the back because I think they're really soft, but currently I think we're gonna have to jack the rear up, get it a lot higher so it doesn't fucking hit this on corners, because going straight it was pretty much fine. It was like, if I turned right, it would fucking hit so hard on this thing. So yeah, we're gonna go up with the ride height, and then another day we'll have to get springs. For the moment, this is all I can do. Well guys, we got a big fucking problem, and I'm gonna show you what it is. I want you to watch this right here and watch, because it's gonna move inside, in and out, and watch how it does it. You see that? See it moving back and forth? You know why it's doing that? Because this fucking axle is binding up again. It's still binding up. It drives straight, but like if you try to turn right, the further you turn right, the harder you load this left rear, the worse it gets. And it's just like, you can feel the whole fucking just, and you can actually see this wheel kind of just barely moving a little bit. Doesn't do it going left, but it does it going right. Dude, fuck Minitech. God damn it. I can't say it enough times. Fuck that company, dude. They are fucking terrible. So I have an idea that I can try. Unfortunately, it's gonna take me hours to do it. I already know it is. Because it involves, I'm gonna have to take both hubs off. We already have to take the passenger side out because we already have an axle shaft leak. So we gotta take both hubs off, gotta take the axles out, or at least on that side for sure. And I think what I'm gonna do is, there's 2 bolts that go through that hub that run up into there. And my thoughts are at the moment is if I Dremel those out, you know, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, as far as I can go, really. And that'll basically bring the whole hub assembly out a little bit, and hopefully that'll get me in the money. Yeah, I don't know what else to try. It's the only thing I can think. So I guess I'm gonna, put this thing in the garage, get it up in the air, and start tearing into it, I suppose. All right, things have escalated a lot. Got both sides apart. This side, I took it all the way apart. I actually went in here and I grinded these holes out on both sides and basically brought the whole hub this way, like, I don't even know, at least 1/4, 3/8 of an inch. I'm gonna put you on a tripod now, and then I can show you what we got now. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys now. I'm gonna pick this up. You can kind of see, like, even with it all the way up, I still have axle movement. So I'll show you. I picked this all the way up. That's about as high as it goes. See, there's still play in that axle. That's what we were looking for the whole time. Because a second ago, when I had this thing going up, basically you get to about right here, and it was like tight. You couldn't move it. And that's where, when I was showing you before, when you go up with it, it was actually making the whole control arm kind of like do this, because it was pushing out because it was binding up on the axle. So this should fix it. Like, I don't know what else would fix it, because it's solid now. Like, it should be good to go. The only thing is, now I have to do the other side. And because I have an axle leak, I pretty much need to take it all apart, and I need to go to the store to get a output shaft seal. So we're gonna take the other side apart, start grinding it out, and then, I'm gonna have to go to the store so I can fix that. And then I also got a coolant leak now from a hose, which is down underneath there, that little 90 right there. It's got like a little tear in it. It probably had it before I put it in. Didn't even notice. The worst part about that is, if I take that coolant hose off, I'm gonna have to rebleed the whole cooling system. I'm gonna lose every fucking drop of coolant out of that thing. And that's gonna take forever. And it's already 7 o'clock on Sunday. And I've only got this Friday. That's it. Show's on Saturday. I was technically supposed to do the skid pad on Friday. There's no way that's happening. No way. Hopefully we can make it to the show. We'll see. Okay, it's back on the ground. I got those hubs shifted outwards. Obviously, I've ran them through. Everything seems to be okay. I do know for a fact that it's going to drive all fucked up, and it absolutely needs some work as far as suspension and alignment. But I just threw it back together just so I could find out if the noise is gone. As long as the noise is gone, in theory on Friday, I should be able to sort the suspension out, fix the coolant leak, and then even with no firewall, I should still be able to fucking drive it at least to the show. So cross your fingers, guys. We're about to go find out if the noise is gone. All right, so I can't really show you, but I will say it definitely mostly fixed it. However, if I throw it in really hard into a right-hand turn, it does still do it. So I'm wondering if it's going up higher than what I can physically push by hand. I don't know. Hard to say. I might be able to scoot it out a little bit further with the hub, because I don't think it's quite all the way out. So I might be able to come out a little bit further when I do the suspension, and I think we'll be okay. Obviously the tune needs work because it drives like shit, but for the most part it's drivable. I mean, that's really what matters. Yeah, this thing is gnarly. It is so loud, so fucking loud right there, and it sounds amazing. I will say the tune, like, up top wasn't too bad. It's like drivability is all fucked up. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal to, like, get that kind of figured out. But I mean, it doesn't drive that bad. It's really just that, obviously, that this driver's side needs to come out just a little bit more. Like, honestly, if you're just, like, cruising it and, like, only smashing out straight, I don't think you'd ever have the axle bind issue. It's only when you're, like, really turning right hard. So, I mean, realistically, unless I'm autocrossing this, it won't happen. But this thing, it drives pretty good. Like, it really does. I need to obviously fix my coolant leak. And as soon as I get that coolant leak fixed, I think realistically, I should be able to drive it into the show. Because right now, like, I was driving it all around, drove it down the street, and it didn't overheat. Like, it was staying really nice and cool the way it should. So that's a plus. Literally, once I fix that coolant leak, I think we'll be good as far as that goes. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see, like, looking at these. Let me show you. So, like, if you kind of look at the wheel, you can kind of see, like, how far this one is out versus how far this one is out, which is not very far. And this is the problem child one. So I think, honestly, if I just bring that hub out just a little bit more, I think it'll take care of that whole issue. Because it's so close to where it needs to be. So close. I think just that little bit extra will be fucking mint. Plus, I mean, obviously, the alignment's out. You can kind of see, I don't know if you guys can see it on film, but it like this one for sure is like towed in a little bit. The left side definitely has more camber. So we'll have to do that on Friday. It's going to be a mad rush to get it there. But I think even without the firewall, if I just have to drive it like this, that's fine. It's not a big deal. As long as it makes it to the show, that's the biggest thing. Yeah, it'd be awesome to do the skid pad because this thing sounds so fucking gnarly. But I don't think, I mean, we'll have to see what it does with the hub moved out. But realistically, I don't think I can get everything wrapped up to the point where it needs to be so I can do the skids, because I have to do the skids like in the afternoon. In the afternoon on Friday, I think you have to be there at like 6. Well, probably before 6 because it starts at 6. You probably have to be there a little bit before to tech in all that stuff to, yeah, make sure that it's and then you have to do a practice run before even Saturday. So I don't know. I'm not sold on that, especially since I still need to fix cooling system, firewall, seats, tune, all those things. So I think at the moment we're probably going to play it safe and just do the show. But dude, honestly, finally a win. Finally I was able to go and drive it hard, honestly. Probably harder than I should have been doing, because like it was almost impossible to see what the wideband was because there's some like thing on the screen right now that it thinks it's over revving when you hit like 4,000 RPMs or something like that, and it flashes like really, really bright, and it's like it takes up the whole screen so you can't even see anything. But like from what I could kind of see, it looked like it was fine and it sounded normal, so I think we're good. It's just the low end. Well, yeah, wish me luck. I think Friday we will do some, we'll film that and do all that stuff. And, obviously we'll show you what's going on Saturday, Sunday. I did drive my Civic, so I know that the Civic is good to go for racing on Sunday. I just need to fill some nitrous bottles. Other than that, yeah, guys, I think that's going to be it. So like, subscribe, do all the things. Peace out.